Hi everybody. Today's video is the very first video I'm making. My name is Christian. My born name given to me was Christina. I'm obviously F to M, transgender. I'm 32 years old and I'm coming out at a late age. So.
When did you realize you were transgender?
When did I realize I was transgender? I didn't really know until probably about a year ago when I learned the definition. I didn't know that there was a term as to what I was feeling or going through. It all started at a early age, as far back as I can remember, probably about between 4 and 5 years old. I never was the girly type. I always cried at Christmas time because my parents obviously gave me girl toys and clothes and whatnot. I wanted the G.I. Joe men, cars, Lincoln blocks, typical boy stuff. They saw it too as I was just, an average tomboy or whatever. So, long story short, as I started getting older, I noticed that I didn't want to hang out with the girls. I didn't want to do anything the girls did. I always wanted to play football out in the yard, baseball, basketball, muddy, dirt. I just wanted to do what boys did. Never wanted to wear girl clothes. I always would sneak and wear my brother's clothes outside. And then probably about 7 years old, I started going to the bathroom, standing up over the commode, the toilet, whatever, trying to pee like a guy. And, this whole time, I'm like, why do I feel this way? I would always yell, I'm a boy in a girl's body, to my mom, and, they would just laugh at me and say, oh, you're such a tomboy. Well, back then, 32 years ago, they never had the term transgender. Or at least it wasn't spoken about, it wasn't like it is today that, everybody's learning about all these different gender identities that they have. So, when I got into my teenage years, I noticed that, I was attracted to girls and not boys. I wanted my hair short. I fit every criteria as you would look as a young girl growing into a lesbian. I matched all the criteria on that. But it started to change when I was in school. I would try to, go to the boys' bathroom. Because I felt like a guy. But then I didn't know who to talk to. Where to turn. I felt alone. I felt depressed. I'd get corrected by some of the teachers that personally knew me, would say, you're in the wrong bathroom, but the ones that didn't know me, I passed, and I was excited about it, and, the guys and whatnot, I started getting teased and picked on and called, name calling like he, she, boy, it, thing. I was a freak, and I was a faggot or gay, all these hurtful things, and, like I said, I felt depressed and alone and confused, and I didn't know where to go, or what to do, what to say. I just finally said, I tried to avoid these feelings that I was feeling. I tried to go the opposite way, be attracted, try to date a boy because that's what was known as to being the right thing to do, that's what was normal in everybody's eyes. And I was unhappy, and it never worked out, I never dated. And, to the bottom line of the question that you asked, when did I know? I guess I knew my entire life that I was a guy in a girl's body. I just didn't know that there was a term for it. And I, here recently, is when I started reading upon this whole transgender identity, and I cried because everything that it spoke, it matched everything that I felt, everything that I went through. So yeah, probably about a year ago is when I learned the term of transgender, and it's a hard question because I guess I could say I knew since I was little, but I just didn't know the term of it. I cried out for help and nobody listened to me. They didn't know, so here I am.
What was puberty like?
Oh, what was puberty like? It was rough. I hated it. It was disgusting. For one, I hate boobs. I hate boobs, and I cried the moment it peeked out. And, I begged my mom to take me and go get them cut off, and she just laughed at me and told me no. And, it was rough. It was hard. And I remember I used to take my mom and dad's ace bandages and wrap them around and try to tighten my chest and make it flat as possible, And when I got caught, I got the lecture that it's going to cause pneumonia, it's harmful, what are you doing, don't let me see you do it again, that kind of thing. So I would basically sneak it because I wasn't the perfect kid. Now when the Shark Week happened, that was a whole nother story. I cried. I hated it. It was bad because, for one, I started my period. Two, I'm thinking to myself, how can a guy have a period? And three, it is what it is, and I can't change it. And, the whole fact of tampons, pads, I didn't want to wear a pad because it felt like I was wearing a diaper. Didn't want to wear a tampon because then, what do you do with the tampon? And that's a no-no. And so I got very, very, very depressed. I just, during that time of the month, I would never leave my house, never went outside to play. I just felt like a freak. I felt like something was really wrong. And, at that age, guys are liking girls, girls are liking guys, and yes, I am attracted to women. So being a trans guy, I would be straight because, I am attracted to women. But at that time in my life, I was attracted to girls, so I got called every name possible, and I just stayed solo up until my high school years.
So why now? What's made you decide at this point in your life to make the change?
Well, I always wanted to. I just never knew that there was such a thing. I didn't know that there was surgery possible. I didn't know that there was hormones, testosterone that you could take. I didn't know that you could physically change your body up until about a year ago. 32 years living a lie is how I see it. I lived in a false body. I really felt like I couldn't do the things that was meant for me to do. I felt trapped. And, being 32 years old, I feel like this man inside of me has grown so much stronger. This urge, this will, this must be. And I feel like it's my time, I lived 32 years to please other people. I lived 32 years living the life that people expected of me. And 32 years I've been depressed. And now it's time for me, to be happy, to be that guy that I was meant to be.
Do you feel that now, since you made that decision, things are getting better, or that the stress is lightening up more and more?
I feel like there has been a burden lifted off my shoulders. I feel this huge weight that's been taken off. It's still there because I'm not where I want to be, but just the fact that I identify as a guy has made my life so much easier. I'm able to talk about it more, explain it. Not that I feel that I need to, but, you know, people look at me like, what are you talking about? Because there's still a lot of people that don't know the term and what it is. You know, they got this image that, oh, you're transgender, so you're a guy and a girl, you're a freak, or you're a cross-dresser. It's not that. It's the fact that my identity, I was born a girl, but the inside of me is a man, and I need to match what I feel on the inside on the outside. I feel like when I talk about it to people, I feel free. I feel happy, I feel comfortable, I feel at ease, not stressed. My depression has lightened up a lot. Just in general, when I get to express myself and talk about how I feel, it just makes life easy, you know. And before, when I bottled all these feelings up inside, it made me cry, it made me dark, it made me depressed. It just, being able to bring that out of hiding is like being a whole new person. And I feel lifted, I feel happier, you know.
You feel like every time you talk about it, yeah, it's a little bit more coming out and you feel better, but have you started talking to your friends and family, and what are their reactions?
Yes, I have. You know, my mother, you know, she's okay. As long as I'm happy, she's happy. And that wasn't my biggest scare. The biggest scare would have to be, you know, talking to my closest family member, which is my sister. And, you know, we've had a hard life. And for her to find out that her best friend is changing genders, you know, she was weird about it at first, but, you know, she's okay. And as long as I'm happy, she's happy. But my ultimate scare would be coming out to my children. I've got 2 teenage boys and 2 that are, you know, 8 and 9, and, you know, the kids are okay with it. The oldest ones are, you know, like, sure, Mom, it is what it is. You know, I did sit down and talk to them about it, and they feel like they'll take it day by day, and, you know, that they're going to support me. My 2 younger ones, they really don't quite understand the whole process of it. They do know that, you know, their mom wants to be a guy, but they don't know the details of it, and I think it's too much for them to comprehend right now. And all I can say is that, you know, we take it day by day, and I'm still here, you know. It's just the outside of my body is going to match what I feel on the inside. I'm still the person that loves them. My friends, I've lost some friends over it. I have a lot of friends that are supportive, and, you know, they would always joke with me and be like, yeah, we could tell. We just didn't say anything. And I'm like, you know, I could have talked about this earlier, been happier, wouldn't feel like I'm walking on eggshells, and, you know, this, that, and the other. But I still have quite a bit of people to tell, but I feel like it's not their business. I feel like this is my ultimate decision, and, you know, they love me for who I am, and if they don't, then they really weren't there for me from the beginning. So that's just my perspective on things.
Do you feel like even losing family members or friends or anybody regarding coming out, is it worth it just to feel better inside? I mean, how does that balance?
How does what balance?
If you lose family and friends over it, if they just don't understand or don't.
I see it this way. I am who I am, and I can't change who I am. Yes, I can change the outside appearance, but I am a man, and I've always been. And for me to express that and become that, and then walk away from me, they never really paid attention to me. They never really cared, you know. And if they choose to walk away from me, then they truly never loved me. And, you know, I would do it all over again, because this to me is the most important thing in my life, and being happy, and if that means losing people that I thought cared about me, then so be it. I'm going to be me. At the end of the day, I'm going to be sitting here with a smile and being free and being happy.
What are your biggest fears about the whole process? And have you started your process of transitioning?
I've been seeking a counselor. I've been in therapy. It's not fast enough. God, I wish it was. You know, I'm hoping to get my letter within the next couple weeks. So that was my whole point in making this video, because I feel within the next month, maybe 2 at the latest, I'm going to have my first shot of testosterone. I'm not sure how many more visits I have to make. It's very clear that, you know, I am what I am, and she identifies me as that, and I'm just waiting on the letter. And then once I take the letter, then I'm going to Cleveland for my top surgery, because that's one of my biggest issues is my breast, and I hate it.
Well, how do you feel about the sexual reassignment surgeries, top, bottom, both?
Well, I'm definitely having top surgery. I hope to be in with the doctor in Cleveland. It all depends on how fast they can get me in. The sooner the better. The bottom, as of right now, I'm not even pressed about the bottom. They got to go. It's not me, they got to go. You know, it doesn't make me any less of a man knowing that I've got a man vagina, you know. It is what it is. Now, later on, the longer I take testosterone, the longer my body starts filling out and I become and grow into this man, you know, a year or 2 down the road, that may be an option. But as of right now, that's not on my bucket list. It's not a major change that I need, because I'm really not pressed about that. I work with what I got. But yes, my number one goal is top surgery, and I wish that I could have that now, but in the case of the doctor that I'm seeking out, they recommend a letter, and they recommend that you be on testosterone for at least a couple months. So, you know, I'm going to take it step by step, and hopefully this time next year I will be fully developed and fully masculine and the man that I desire to be.
And now that you finally made this decision to come out, surgery-wise and everything, what do you expect from all of it? And how do you think it'll make you feel differently?
it's, you know, it really isn't, how do I want to say it without sounding wrong? I will be reborn. I will be alive. I will be free. You know, there's no word out there that can express or even begin to explain exactly how I feel or how to express it. Like, you can't put a word on it. I'll be happy, you know, like, I don't know, like, you know, I'm not there, and all I can say is that when that time comes, it will be like being reborn. It'll be fresh, it'll be free, I'll be happy, and that's the main thing, is just being happy, you know, like, I'm just tired. I'm tired of looking in the mirror and seeing this ugly body that I have. You know, I want to look in the mirror with a smile on my face every day. I want to be able to take my shirt off. You know, I want to be able to be free. So, the whole point in making this video is so that maybe I could help somebody else that is an older trans, you know, and they don't necessarily have to be an older trans. It could be somebody that's confused, that's in their teenage years, you know, middle age, whatever. It took me 32 years to realize what I am. And now that I know, and I fully understand that this is what's really going on, I'm embracing on that. I'm going to be the man that I was born to be. Don't be afraid to come out. Don't worry about what other people think, because at the end of the day, it's not what they think. It's about how you're feeling and what you're thinking. And ultimately, it's your decision. And if that's what makes you happy, then do it. Don't hide. Don't be scared. You know, this is life, and everybody is judgmental. Everybody is, you know, there's mean people out there, and they will criticize you. They will call you names. Some people may get hurt, you know, and it's sad and it's sickening because everybody's got to be so fucking judgmental. And for what? For what reason? To get your fucking jollies off? To make you feel more of a man or a woman, you know, whatever. Don't hide it. Don't wait as long as I did. You know, I got some people asking me, like, hey, you're 32 years old. You know, you lived half your life. Your expectancy to live expand is 20, 30 years, and that's all you got, so why are you doing it now? You're half grown. Well, I look at it this way. I don't give a damn if I have 2 years left. If I've got 2 years left, I'm going to be that man for the last 2 years of my life, and I'm going to die with a smile on my face. Because with me not transitioning, with me not turning into the guy that I was meant to be, that's going to put me in my grave faster. You understand? Like, I'm hard-headed. You know, everybody knows that. And my entire life, you know, I played sports. I was, you know, All-American in basketball. You know, I was everything that everybody expected me to be, hiding behind these walls. And I was scared of being judged. I was afraid of being hurt. I was afraid of being picked on. It gets tiresome. And, you know, if I would have known the information that I know now, I would have came out and I would have been happier. I think that they need to in sex ed in school. They need to teach transgender people. They need to give people information on this so that, you know, they're not sitting there like I was, you know, depressed my entire life. It's not worth it. It's, you know, I feel like my entire life was a waste. I feel like my entire life was a lie. You know, I'm happy. I'm a lot happier than what I was because I talk about it. I do everything that I can as of right now. And the day that I start my tea, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry because from that day on, I'm gonna be happier than I ever was. And I'm finally going to be free. I will be posting videos the day that I go to the doctors and get my shot. Like I said, within the next month, maybe 2 at the latest. But I'm hoping it may be sooner. I'm excited about it. I'm overwhelmed and anxious. And it's just not going, the process ain't going fast enough for me. If you're a transgender person and you're just realizing this is what you are, in my case I've got children, and if that's what scares you, sit down to them and talk to them, because believe it or not, your kids are going to be your #1 fan. They're going to be supportive. They're going to be behind you. And in some cases they may not, but I was blessed to have amazing kids that grew up knowing, you know, that not everybody is man and female, and knowing that, you know, their mom has been with the girls, so they grew up in that kind of environment, so this was no shock to them. And, you know, my kids are great, so don't be scared. Just sit down and explain it all. And if they have questions, answer them for them. If anybody else has any questions for me, if I missed something on a topic, feel free and comment below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Like I said, you know, I'm new at all this, so I'm still pre-T. I'm hoping to start my tea within a month or 2. So I'm right there with a lot of people, but I am older. And a lot of people are transitioning between, you know, 10 to 25, 26. At least that's where I've seen a lot of videos. I think I could count on one hand on older people that start their transition in an older life. And, you know, I want to help people or inspire people or, you know, do whatever I can, because watching your guys' videos has embraced on me in a way that I can't explain it, and it's helped me in so many ways. And I thank you guys for all being brave and for putting your business out there and showing the world, and, you know, giving them advice, and, you know, being really supportive. And that's what we need. We're all family at the end of the day. You know, we all need each other. So like I said, if you got any questions for me, if I missed something, that was my fiance that you heard on the video as well. And
No, come on now.
that's my #1 fan right there. So she's supportive all the way. She loves me for who I am. She's excited about this transition as well. So yeah, if you got any questions, just comment below. We will try our best to get back to you. If I left anything out, just let me know. Follow me, because